Aloha, you can call me Craw. And on today's episode of Sorting and Organizing Lego Pieces, we're going to be looking at a bunch of Technic pieces. One of the reasons we're looking at Technic today is because I'd like to close out this entire Technic box and start using it for other purposes. And it's one category that I haven't done a lot of, so to be able to really get this done would make me feel like I've accomplished something. All right, so we have a couple of Technic bars that we're going to be organizing up front. Let's start with these little ones. I don't know exactly how long they are, but let's get out our little ruler thing. Isn't it funny how every time you want to find something, you can never find it? All right, so this one is going to be 3 long. Or axles, it's an axle. So those are pins. Technic axle. Boom, this is what it is. 3L. This is our piece right here. All right, I haven't done a single axle in my sort yet, so here we go. This is going to be a good one. This is a new part for me. These are all different. Jeez. All right, let's see. So I have those ones. This is going to be a 12L. A 9L? That's interesting. A 9L. Ironically, I do feel like that's a way to spell axle, but usually when I spell axle, it is this. Like, that feels right with axle, but maybe... That's right. I mean, this is obviously the more right one there is. I guess I've just used the wrong axle all these years. Good to have humility and recognize when you're wrong at things, right? This is a 10. Okay, so it looks like there's some that have these threads on them. That's what the threaded one means. Interesting. I don't think I've ever seen one of those in real life. This is an 8, but it's got a ledge on the back. So I'm curious how it calls those. 8L with a stop. On the negative side, I was actually bidding on those government filing cabinets, and I got outbid at the last second. It's kind of a bummer. I mean, I wasn't really looking forward to driving all the way to Albany, New York to get these, but it was such a good price. So while it was disappointing that someone swooped in and outbid me and got it for $54 once tax and all that stuff was included, it still kind of was a bummer that I'm not going to have them, because that would have been an insane amount of storage space for $10. I'll keep looking. I'll get my stuff soon at some point. So if it's one of you out there who snagged that set, congratulations. I hope you enjoy it. 3708, and that's going to be my 12L. Yep. Next one is going to be piece 3737. Technic XL 10L. Oh, it's on 2 wanted lists. Which wanted list is it on? That's what I need to be looking at. Nope, we don't want to add it. We want to see which one it's on. So it looks like I need a black one and a red one for this Launch Tower MK1 for Saturn V with crawler. I don't know if I'm ever going to build this, but it's good to know that I have one of the pieces. My dream is to build that. That would be a really cool rebickable model. I think I've bought the instructions. Now, let's look at these. Oh, no, this is different. These ones appear to be a little longer. This one is really different. That one's a little longer. So again, this is an example of the combinations the sacrifice I was making. I was storing these in here with here because, you know, this wasn't taking up that much space. And getting them out is kind of a pain. Dumping these out of a bag is going to be so much easier. Especially when I'm going to know there's a difference between these ones and these ones. They're going to be in different bags. But is there going to be a difference between red, dark blue, light gray? I don't know. Yeah, all of these are going to be axles because they're all going to have pen connectors. Axles when it's going to have that. So like this is an axle because it's got an axle with a pin on one side. Let's go back to Technic pen. Oh, jeez. 3/4, 1/2, 1/2. So 3/4 separate, definitely separate. So let's go log all these now, or at least get the labels made. So it looks like I have logged this in here twice. I logged this one in here twice. We have you. We have you. We have you, or you, or you. We're not sure which one of the U's you is. Maybe this one, and maybe this one. These are all the ones we're going to deal with. So, the red is going to have... Oh, I know this is one we have right here. So this is called a Technic pen 1/2 with a stud holder. Comes in bright green. So obviously I have this one. I don't know what set I have it from. Oh, I do have. I do remember building this set. So we might have it from this set. Oh look, this was the set I wanted, but I never got. I get. Ooh, what's this? That's kind of cool. All right, enough exploring. This is the piece we got. Okay. I've managed to log this twice. So even in my new improved system, I'm still having errors. All right. So let's look at these photos. Because now we can get rid of this 3/4 pin. So that one. Looks like there's like little ridges here. And this doesn't have them. So the question comes down, ridge or not to ridge? Not ridge. Not ridge. Here's an idea. Without friction ridges, it can come in blue, light gray, and white. All right. So really it's there it is. That solves it. They have specific colors. So I know red is always going to be this one with the ridge. Two, and same with the dark. Two, and two, right? So this is going to be 86927. Does it really matter? I don't think it matters at all. I really don't think this is going to matter at all from a building perspective. I don't understand the math, why one would have it and one would not. And I'm never going to be able to really see this. So we're just going to combine them all into one. That's what we're going to do. We're going to make one full bag with all of them. Because I don't think it's going to matter at all. I don't think it's going to matter at all. I think I'm just going to drive myself crazy trying to figure out the difference between them. This is a Technic axle, which we've already discussed. So this is part 43093. Technic axle. I mean, I don't ever imagine these being super far away from the other one, so it's not going to be the end of the world if these aren't in the exact same area. But just find that interesting. Since I combined the half pins into one, and I did like that more, I'm going to do the same thing with these. I'm going to combine all of these into just one entry. One bag. Because again, I don't see there's a reason why I would have to get like a second one of these. Cue someone in my comments telling me how much of a fool I'm being right now. If I ever find out why I'd want to use one of these versus the other, that'd be an interesting video, I think. So the thing that has been interesting is I've been watching Brick Attacked, I think it is. He's the bigger streamer who's starting his organizational journey. And I watched his video on how he, no, I don't want to do this one, it's just yet. How he was doing his organization. And it was interesting because I think he was taking an approach very similar to what I used to do. Which I don't think there's anything wrong with that approach. I just think it's interesting because he tended to have like 4 or 5 primary colors, and he didn't worry so much about the individual shades. Like, he didn't care about light bluish green versus bluish green. He just cared that it was greenish. And that was good enough for him. All right. This is the next area. You can see at least a couple different types. We have a couple of these push ones. We have a couple that aren't pushes. All right, so we have a couple different types. These are pushes. And these aren't pushes. And again, similar to the last one. Ooh, this has an axle on it. This is a push. This is another push. So we have 3 different types in here. Okay, so let's go back and let's knock that axle one out first. It's kind of the reverse of this. Here it is. Voila. I've done enough damage today. It's been kind of a hectic day. Thank you for sticking around to the end. I'm sure this was a very... Jeez, I don't know. Mahalo for watching, friends.